Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Today we are going to look at one program to see the effect of tracing for polymorphism as well as the effect of dynamic binding. Now, what I have here with me is a very interesting program. The file name is called fruituser.java. Basically, I have one main class called fruituser. This is the main class because it contains the main method. This class also contains another method called method that takes an object from the class fruit. Okay, and in this file, I also have other classes as well. For example, the class fruit that extends from the class object. Again, if you remember, object is the mother of all classes. Therefore, if you do not put the extension extends to object, the program still runs as usual. Now, the second class is apple. Class apple extends fruit means class apple inherits from the class fruit. Then we have the third class. Class orange extends from apple, which means the class orange inherits from the class apple. Okay, now we are going to trace the program. If you remember, every time the compiler begin executing a code, it will start with the first line in the main method. Okay, in the first line of the main method, we can see a method calling to the method name method, which is here, and we are going to pass a new object called fruit from the class fruit. Now, in this parameter here, we have a keyword new, and we are calling the with no argument constructor. We are calling the no argument constructor from the class fruit. Okay. Now, two things are happening here. The first one is we have to create the object first by calling the no argument constructor from the class fruit. And second, once we created the object, we need to pass the object to the method called method here. Okay. Now, the compiler will go to the no argument constructor in class fruit, which is this one. In the no argument constructor of class fruit, there is only one line. Because fruit does not inherit from other classes, we straight away execute the line inside the no argument constructor in class fruit, which is print class fruit. You will see the output here, class fruit. Once the object has been created, it means it is ready to be passed to the method called method. Now we are going to pass an object, the name is fruit, from the class fruit into the method called method. Okay. Now obj is the instance of fruit that we have just created from the class fruit. Now we are going to invoke the how-to method from the class fruit. So we go to class fruit. There is one method, how to eat, and when we execute the content of the method, it says system.out.println make a juice. Therefore, now we have two lines, class fruit, make a juice. Then the control from here is passed back to the main method. Now let's have a look at the second line in the main method, whereby now we are going to create a new object from the class orange and pass to the method called method down here. Now in this line 32, again there are two things happening. The first part is actually creating the object, and the second part is passing the object to the method. Now in this parameter, we have a keyword new, and we are going to call the no argument constructor from class orange. Okay, So let's go to the no argument constructor in class orange. However, as you can see, there is no argument constructor in class orange. But no worries, because if there is no argument constructor in the class, the compiler will create one automatically for you. Okay, but however, before the compiler can create the object orange, because orange inherits from the class apple, you see, this is a constructor chaining process. The compiler has to go to create apple. That means compiler has to go to the no argument constructor of class apple. Okay. Then again, if we see class apple, before we can execute the line 18 inside the no argument constructor in class apple, we can see that apple inherits from class fruit. Therefore, the compiler or we must first create fruit. Are you okay? Now, we are here at the no argument constructor in the class fruit. So first, we execute the no argument constructor in class fruit, whereby we will print in the console class fruit. Okay. Once we have created the no argument constructor, once we have created the object fruit, we will go to apple and execute the line inside the no argument constructor in apple, which is system.out.println class apple, which is this one. Okay. Once we have created apple, now we return to orange and we create when we go to the no argument constructor in the class orange and we create the object orange. Okay. Now, the object orange has been created. After the series of constructor chaining, orange now has been created. And now we are going to pass orange to the method called method. Okay. If you see, the method takes in an object. The parameter name is obj, but it takes the object from the class fruit. Now, this is the example of polymorphism, because we are going to set orange, but the method takes fruit. Okay. Polymorphism says an object of superclass can take the object of the subclass. If we see, orange is a subclass of apple, is a subclass of fruit. Alright. So now we are going to send the object orange into the method and we will invoke the how-to-eat method from the class orange. So we go to class orange. This is the how-to-eat method in class orange and we are going to print make an ice cream. So we print in the console make an ice cream. Once we have done this, we will return control to the third line in the main method. Okay. Now we are going to start again the same process of constructor chaining in line 33, whereby now we are going to create a new object from class apple. We are going to call the no argument constructor from class apple. However, before we can create apple, apple inherits from fruit. Therefore, we have to go to the no argument constructor from the class fruit. And fruit does not inherit from any other classes. It inherits directly from the object class that belongs to Java. Now, we are going to create fruit inside the no argument constructor. In fruit, we will print, compiler will print on the console class fruit, which is this line. Okay. So once fruit has been created, we return the control to the no argument constructor in class apple and we create apple. We create apple by printing out the line class apple. Okay. Now after we create apple, then only we come back to the main class fruit user whereby at this line here 33, apple now has been created. Now once we have the object apple, we are going to send apple to the method called method, which is down here. Again, this is an example of polymorphism whereby an object of the superclass takes the object from the subclass, because apple is a subclass of fruit. Okay. Again, when we have apple here, we are going to invoke the how to eat method from the class apple. So we go to apple. However, there is no how to eat method in class apple. But don't worry, because there is no how to eat method in apple, we will find the method. We will find the how to eat method in the superclass of apple, which is fruit. Okay. Now the compiler or the control will go to class fruit, and in class fruit you will find the method called how to eat, and inside how to eat method we will execute this line, which is system.out.println, print out on the console, make a juice. Okay. Once we have done this, control will return back to the method inside the fruit user class. And once this is finished, control will return to the last line of the main method. And we are finished. Thank you.